So good morning. Here we are in the workshop, and I've been very fortunate in acquiring a partial Diderot 18th century chess set. This set is so called because it appears in the Encyclopédia Diderot, which was published in France in 1770. Diderot was the author, another chap called Albert. And here is a picture of the complete set in reality on the next page. Now this set must have been a standard chess set of the period for it to appear in the Encyclopedia as the chess set, and we can assume it's from some time during the 18th century, 1700 to 1800 thereabouts. It's as close as we can get. Now this was manufactured on a rose engine lathe, and it's an early form of ornamental turning which was very quick to produce, nothing like the Holzapfel lathes that were used in England in the 19th century. And of course ornamental turning was known from 2,000 years ago in China in a certain form, and these lathes were produced in Germany certainly from the middle of the 16th century, and they were in use in France. We know that because the pictures of the lathes in the Encyclopedia Diderot. But it was missing a pawn for the damaged bishop, and it's missing all the rooks and the kings and the queens. So the question is, what does one do when one's got a valuable early chess set which is worth restoring and you don't have any pieces? What you do have is a good picture. Well, I'll go into the workshop and I'll explain that to you in a moment. So here we are in the workshop with the Diderot set, two of the Diderot pawns. Now, the picture in the book isn't the correct size for the pawns. So here we are in the workshop with two of the pawns from the Diderot set, and the reason why I've got two pawns is because this picture in Schachpartie der Zeiten und Welten is not the correct size. So what we need to do in order to produce pieces that we haven't got is to reproduce the pieces the correct size. The picture the correct size. And so we take the big piece, the big pawn and the small pawn, a bit of variation in the set, and we produce this. Then we cut up the pieces that we need. In this case I need rooks and kings and queens. And we're going to use this in order to use on the lathe in order to mark the things. So we fold it in half lengthwise and we go to the lathe. I've already made the blanks. This set was all completely made in boxwood, typical of the French, using boxwood. They had lots of boxwood. So we just turn this on, we hold that there, and we make marks where we think the main points of the chess set are. We've got the sizes we've gotten, because this is full size. We take the sizes from this picture, and then we can just basically just turn the piece using this as a pattern, and we can get as close as we possibly can with it. Okay, so here we are with the king from the Diderot set. I've made one from the picture, and you'll notice that there are no marks on it yet. I have to decide how to apply those, probably by hand. It would have been done on a rose engine lathe, obviously. So here we are with the second king roughed out, and you'll notice that I've left these very thin sections much thicker than there will be on the finished piece. In fact, the diameter here is about the same as the diameter on this larger part here. And one of the things that the old turners used to do in France and in England, they would try and do something that made it look very, and in Germany, try and make it look very difficult to make. So these thin sections, any turner would know that if you mounted this and the thin sections, it's going to wobble or break as you're making it. So you've got to think about what process you're going to use to do it, in what order you're going to do it in. Of course, no one but a turner would even think about it. And the people who bought the chess sets, they were just chess sets. But basically, we've turned it down to within reason what we want. And I'm going to start working back from the chuck head end this way out. And I'm just going to put in these thin parts, and you can hear it. You can hear the object vibrating a little bit. We've just got to be a little bit careful as you go in. And here we are getting to the last little bit of it. And you notice I'm making the curved shape with a very thin punch cut tool. I could use a round-ended tool, a carving tool, but this one's too big to go in. But I prefer to use the punch cut tool in any event. And then this one. You see how it's vibrating now? If I'd done that middle one first, I'd be in trouble.
Move the piece.
Hmm?
Move the piece.
Move the piece. Oh, sorry, yeah. A little bit of care. It's vibrating a little bit so that the marks which can be gotten out with sandpaper or with a final application of a very light tool cutting. All done as spindle turning, of course.
Coming back trembleur.
What about trembleur?
Trembling. Where they hold it with the threads.
Oh yes, the Germans used to put a thread round and it would support the piece in the middle and presumably they wax the thread. That isn't a technique that I've tried. But anyway, so you can see that we're getting to the point now where I can just touch it up a little bit and we'll be at the stage where we're going to apply the decoration. Thank you. So here are the two kings completed. I've left the top chucking part on this one because I want to show you something I noticed on these. On these pieces I noticed there's tear out on the very top. On the very tops of the pieces there's a little bit of tear out, and I think that the chap who made these originally, I think he took the piece off the lathe like this and then I think he just went like that and tore the top off because it was quicker than parting it off. Doesn't that look nice?